Coach Hinds, interview, take one.
Okay. Justin Hinds, defensive line coach, Seattle Seahawks.
Another first down, another play, another season. Live with Tony G, this that football fever. Yeah, this that football fever. Live with Tony G, this that football.
My journey is a pretty long one, but here's what I'll say about it. It started back when I was coaching at Rowan. So I got done playing in 08, got coaching in 09, so I did a season there, but then I went into high school after that. So I was the defensive coordinator at Plainfield High School, did that for a season, then I went over to Woodbridge High School, and had a great year, was able to work for my high school coach there. Man, we had a great opportunity, a great time to go and be back in my community and coach. But, from that standpoint, I kind of didn't know where I wanted to go. So I thought I was going to go back into the high school coaching role. I thought I was going to say, all right, I'm going to be a high school head coach, teach. I enjoyed that role because the development of kids is what I really loved. But then I was able to go to Wagner College because I wanted to get essentially my master's degree, but I don't want to have to pay for it. So I was a graduate assistant at Wagner College for 2 years. Did that. Man, I was living in a dorm room. I was coaching the defensive line at that point. That was my first role. And then from there, it kind of accelerated for me. So Walt Hamline was the head football coach at Wagner. He was able to get me a job down at Mississippi State where I was working for Dan Mullen. So on that team, man, I think it was 2014, I would pull up into Mississippi State, man, kid from Jersey, never been into Mississippi, kind of shell-shocked. But at the end of the day, man, it was like, here's opportunity lies here. So I was able to really kind of jump myself into like an SEC environment, which is super competitive. On that roster was some guys. It was Dak Prescott was our quarterback as a junior. It was Chris Jones was on the defensive line. We had Preston Smith as a defensive end. Forget Elton Jenkins, who's now in the Green Bay Packers, was on a youngin' on the offensive line. So man, it was like so much talent there. We did really good. I had that 1 year. I worked for a guy named Jeff Collins, and then what I did was I went to the University of Florida where I worked for Jim McElwain. From there, we had a great season, played in the SEC championship, lost to Bama. But then from there, I was like, man, I was kind of tired of being in this GA role. Cause if you don't understand, the GA role is really you're an intern, you're hustling, you're grinding, you're doing all of the kind of grunt work in between. But what you want to do as a coach, anytime as a coach, you want to run your own room. So I was able to go do that at a Division II school called Valdosta State. So Valdosta State had a rich history of winning. A guy named Kerwin Bell, a guy named James Rowe that I worked at his GA in Florida. We went to Valdosta State. I did that D2, but I'm here now with my wife. My wife's moving all around with me. You're trying to get married. It's hard on the D2 side, so you're trying to get to D1. So I moved back up to the New Jersey area. I went to a place called Lafayette College where I worked for John Garrett. He's Jason Garrett's brother. So John Garrett worked for him for a season. Then I was able to go to Samford University down in Alabama, where I was the defensive line coach there as well. Did that for a year. And then Jim McElwain, who I worked at Florida, he ended up taking a head coaching job at Central Michigan. So from Samford, I went to Central Michigan for 2 years. So when I went to Central Michigan, that was kind of an awesome opportunity, but even though there's new growth, right? So at that point, COVID hit, you're trying to figure it out. Man, I don't know, what are we gonna do? So I'm like, man, it's small ball, what are we gonna do? So what ends up happening is I wanna become a defensive coordinator just to kind of broaden my horizon. So I go to Western Carolina University as a defensive coordinator to work for the same guy that I worked for at Valdosta State. So I went there, and we had a pretty good season, my first time coordinating, dealing with people, and it was really a great coaching experience, probably the best coaching experience of my life because you learn how to manage not only players but people, right? Being a coach is easy because you're managing kids, but when you start to manage men, that's when it really starts to kind of take you into that next level of coaching. Then kind of a crazy story, so I went to the Chicago Bears right after that for 2 seasons. So I got a call one night, bam, I get the Chicago Bears job in less than 24 hours. I'm on a flight, I'm there for the next 2 years. And the same thing kind of happens, man. I got an opportunity to interview with Mike McDonald, and I was able to get the job at Seattle, and I've been there for the last 2 years. So, defensive line is my specialty. It's what I played in college. It's what I love to do. It's really, to me, it's just the mindset of the player. It's kind of the room, like I look at that room sometimes, like you got to manage the personalities. There's these big, huge guys with a lot of just egos and bravados, but they're violent at the same time. So I love being in the chaos, man. It's like being in a lion's den. That's what I really love to do. Really, like, I would say, like, the challenges are because I graduated from Rome with an accounting degree. So, like, I was going there thinking, like, man, I'm about to go into the city. I remember being a senior at Rowan. I'm going in the city. I'm working in Philly, Cigna Healthcare. I'm in the accounting department. Like, I'm trying to get action. Like, I'm working in this business world, but, like, when you chase your passions, like, you got to really believe it. Like, you got to really believe in it. Like, so at that point, I was like, I got to forego this. So, like, the challenges is like, man, I had student loans. That Sally Mae hit back in, and you like, boy, and that thing, they ain't tell you about compound interest, right? Forbearance and loans, it's like, and you're like, so now you like, okay, I'm gonna put in forbearance, because my first job at Wagner, I'm making $2,500 for 10 months. I'm bouncing at Stone Pony, Asbury Park. People don't know that. Like, I'm bouncing down at the Stone Pony in the summertime. Like, I'm driving down there, running back at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm taking summer classes for my marketing degree, and I'm doing that all summer for the last 2 years. And like, those are the challenges you don't know. Like, before I went to Mississippi State, man, I didn't have a job. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was like, man, I got done at Wagner. The season was over. I'm like, man, I don't know where I'm gonna go. I was trying to reach out to people. Like, I only had like D2 like jobs where I was making like 5,000. I'm like, man, I can't do that because I can't do this for too much longer. So like, financially, you're trying to figure it out. But like, look how like God makes a way for you to kind of get into this space and like propel yourself. Like, Mississippi State comes along and like, you kind of go, and now you're like, okay, I'm in the SEC. You start to network, and it changes for you in that one particular moment where it now puts you on a different trajectory. So like, really for me was like being away and like going to some different places and having to get out of my comfort zone is really the number one challenge. But number two is like, man, when you have a good degree, like, you know how pops are. Like, my dad was like really like, hey, like, bro, you got to be on here. I mean, he's a Jamaican guy. He came here, made his way, and he just like, brother, you got to do something else. Like, you got to make sure this is what you want to do. Like, is this where you want to go? And like, I found a way to get it done, from that standpoint. Those were my challenges. But like, the time, like, really in coaching is this, it's really like the hours. Like, that's the major thing. Like, man, you put in a lot of hours. Like, you working at Mississippi State, like, you working literally, like, you might be up for 36 straight hours. Like, no sleeping. Like, I might come in on after a game on Saturday night, we play. Sunday, I do my stuff. And then bam, the next time that I go to sleep is not until Monday night. Like, it'll go Sunday, Monday, and then I'm not sleeping until Monday night. Like, that was just the way it worked, because like, for me, it was about how do I put the best performance forward? Now, it ain't always, now you know about that, you need sleep and all that stuff, but like, I was just in the grind mode at that point. So like, everything, obviously Sunday being game day, right? Usually for us is like everything. So it starts kind of like the major day where we have the guys in there. Like, we'll do like Tuesdays, kind of like that recovery day for the guys. Like, and then what will happen, Wednesday's our big day. Like, Wednesday's kind of like our big day for like first and second down. So like, basically from Sunday, after we get off the field Sunday, you put the game to bed. Monday, you coming in, you're game planning the next opponent, trying to put the stuff, you have the film for the guys, you're gonna do all that stuff. The guys will probably be coming in, getting their little treatment. If you're injured, you come in on the Monday. But like Tuesday, then you're gonna come in and like, you're basically gonna now watch the film from the past game, right? So we'll watch that, we'll do the corrections, and then the guys are out of there. But in that moment, you're kind of like in between as a coach. You're kind of like putting the game to bed, and then bam, you're kind of on to the next opponent, right? So like, for me, like specifically, it'll start like, okay, like, I'm watching the offense, I'm watching the run game, I'm watching, okay, like pass game stuff, and then like we work in kind of like little pods, so everybody works, so you don't have like group meetings. Like, there's no more like, oh, let's stay together in like one meeting and everyone's doing it. Like, we're working together in like little pods, and we're trying to figure out, and everyone has a specialty that they're looking for, because you break down the game plan and then we bring it all together, which is pretty cool. Then Wednesday is kind of our first and second down day. So that's major. That's the tough guy Tuesday. It's just run game. It's heavy intensity. Like, but the guys' bodies aren't fully recovered by that time yet. So like, you're trying to get them to they're smashing and they're going, like, and they're trying to make sure that their bodies are right and ready to go. So then Thursday we'll go into basically our third down red zone type day. So like that's gonna be a heavy pass emphasis. Like we'll get into some situational type things, some of our 2-minute stuff. And then Friday's kind of an all-in-comes. It'll be a little bit more red zone focused. And then like Saturday is like our full, like our mock game. Like we're gonna go through all our situational stuff, special teams, everything like that. So right in a given week, like all that in a day is like basically like you get up in the morning, like most coaches, some get up at 4:35, and then progressively out the week you get home earlier and earlier. But at the end of the day, it's like we know that during the season it's a sacrifice that everybody's making because the players, not a lot of players live out in Seattle. A lot of them live in Miami, they live in Houston, right? That's what they're living. So like they're flying to Seattle for 6 to 8 months, and then bam, they're going there. So they're leaving family members, all that stuff. So it's really kind of a beautiful thing that how we come together to make it all kind of happen.
And lastly, before we exit this discussion, the day before game day, what goes into the day before game day?
Day before game day is really like, to me, is about you putting the icing on the cake for the guys. Like it's about feeling at the ultimate confidence. Like I always want to say, like I want my guys feeling 10 feet tall and bulletproof. Like, I want them feeling like when we go into this game, it is absolute murder session going on. Like, we are going after these dudes, we're going at them. Like, and that's what we talk about. Like, our you know, like for in our room and then on our team is like how we do it. So, like, everything's gonna be about how you get yourself in the mindset and how I'm gonna talk to you during the game. Like, this is the last execution. Hey, this is what we like. This is what we're going in. This is our menu. This is how we're gonna serve these guys up. And then we try to keep it pretty simple so that they can play fast. Because the worst thing that any type of high intensity position, you need reaction. You don't need like delay and, oh, like what's happening. If there's thinking, then that's never good. So like we try to give them to a point where they're not thinking, they feel confident in what we're doing and that they can go play as fast and free and give them a vision of what I see them. Like my thing is like always telling them like, hey, what does it look like, you know, for you when you're making these plays, like truly being in the moment with them. So like really for me, like it's all the same because like, man, like I've coached at high school, Division III, Division II, Division I, major Division I, low tier Division I. And like the one thing that you guys got to realize, like at the end of the day, it's all a business, right? You're playing at a high level competitive deal that people are invested in. Like the NFL is the same thing, but it's at the highest level. So like, how do you eliminate the business part of things and try to make it very team oriented, right? Because like in the NFL, like it's contracts, guys are constantly, no team is ever the same. It's not like when you're in Pop Warner, like bro, we growing up and we playing on the same team all the way up. Like every year a team changes. Like you're constantly trying to put together the team, the coaches change the whole deal. So like to me, it's about taking the transaction out of the transactional business by building trust with the guys and like developing like, so to me, it all starts ground level with the relationship. How do I get you to trust me that I have your best interest? But to me, that takes time. Every guy's different. Some guys are jaded because they might've been on, hey, they've been on this team and they've been on 7 different teams and the coach has told them this. But like, it's a shared vision. But at the end of the day, I'm giving them an opportunity to understand like, yo, this is a business. So like we all have to perform. So don't get it twisted. But at the end of the day, like my guide is to create a vision for you that you don't see in yourself at times. And then like, how do we get there each step of the way? So like my thing is very player specific because I believe in the past times, like old times, it was like, hey, you coach defensive tackle, this is how you play. Everyone's fitting into one box. But like, I try to evaluate movement, skills that each player has, like how I coach Leonard Williams versus how I coach this rookie is gonna be completely different. So I gotta allow Leonard Williams or Byron Murphy or Jaron Reed or you know some of the other guys to really be themselves and like try to create something around them because like you ain't coming in and changing everything that they do. Like you're trying to enhance what they do. Like that's what my job as a coach. My job is to make it harder for them during the week and then watch them perform on Sundays and Saturdays. So I create an environment that where they want to come learn. So it's group, it's collective. Like we're gonna have a shared vision, but at the end of the day, like we are in this together. Like we're building this thing together. But ultimately, I'm responsible for y'all's performance on Sunday. So, but all the guys want to do good, and it's pretty easy when it gets to it, but you got to balance some of the things. Like the really hard thing is like when it comes time to being on the field, because only 4 to 5 guys can be out there, but you might be 8 to 9 deep, and everybody wants to be, because everyone thinks they're the one. And you just got to have honest conversations, and like to me, it's always empirical evidence. So if you're not doing what I need you to do, it's like, okay, here's the film to show you. It's not like, oh, you need to do this. Like we have a plan on how we correct it, how we get them better, like any technique. So it's like, hey, this is a little messed up. Here's where I want to go. So like during a given week, if I have a player that's struggling, we might put together like this plan of how we work with different people to like get you better at this one specific thing. And that's how we work, you know? And some guys get it, some guys don't, because at the end of the day, like everyone has an ego and has a vision for themselves, but I have to be able to give them a vision in the room as to like, this is what we want to be, and provide the standard and expectation, and hey, are you meeting it or you're not meeting it? That simple. Okay, so technology is major in what we do. Like we have an analytics team. So like there's gonna be, there's a full group of people that we dedicate to this whole entire space. Like, cause now with the PFFs and everything, like you're able to map data, like coding, all that stuff is a big part of what we do every single day. Like there's like, we have, this guy, Brian Ayers, Peter Engler, those are guys that we work with super close. And like what they're gonna do is they're gonna create all these different ways on how we look at the game, because all the things that took you time to like just watch, now they can like put specific cut-ups together for you. You can kind of say, okay, I want to try to figure this out, and they'll try to map together all this data, like going back from whenever, where, and you study the trends, like just how it is. Like it goes into personnel, it goes into like how you like draft players, like what's the standard empirical things that you can basically make those decisions off of. Like there's a bunch of different things that you're able to kind of make these decisions off of, which in game planning for me is like, I want to know like, okay, how many times has the quarterback moved off the pocket in this decision? Like what does it look like when he's throwing the football, like, and what's his completion rate? How many interceptions has he thrown when he's stagnant versus when he's not? Like, so like we're going deep diving, because like then it just shows you like, okay, like we want to, it creates your overall strategy. So like you want to be like, okay, I want to use this information to be able to stop this. Like this is what they do well, we want to take this away. Like, okay, this is what this guy's weakness is. It's like, okay, this is where I want to push him. So like you're just trying to play, then it becomes a little bit of a numbers game, but at the end of the day, you can't let it paralyze you. You got to use it as an additive. It's not the main ingredient. So like that's how I see it, because there's a level of instinct in this game, in any sport, that you have to have. Like you got to be able to make real-time decisions. So like for me, like even though the information is telling me this, like a coach could come out and feel like he wants to do this, this, and this because of what he saw in film. So you have to be able to pick up on that in the middle of the game and be like, all right, hey, this is not what happened during the game. All right, this is what they're trying to do, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And that's how you got to kind of talk to the guys. So you have to, like, it just confirms things for you. But it helps you during the week to basically shape a plan for the guys, like an attack plan of how we want to pursue this specific team.
So like a tool, not a rule.
Yes, for sure. Because like to me, is like, we as the person, like the analytics doesn't take into consideration the emotion and the violence, because like, you know that if a guy goes into a game and he's playing with a different purpose, like that elevates his game at a higher level. Like that's the major thing, like what people don't understand. So like, to me, motivating these guys to really play together and then play at a level that where they can tap into this energy that allows for them to play beyond their expectation, where they can think and perform. Like that is, to me, coaching. How do I get them to this place where they're like on the edge, that they want to be able to like just go off, but then they have to go back, reel it back in, and then now go back and think about, okay, this is the play, and then how do I put it into action?
Solid.
Yeah. So really for me, like I would say, like what accounting really did for me, it just put me into like a tough process that made you uncomfortable. It got me out of my comfort zone and taught me how to strive for what I wanted. Because I was in my junior year taking 18 credits in the fall, and I'm like, bro, I don't know if I can do this. Like at that moment, you're like, I don't know if I can get this done. But what it did was, is like, I found a way to get it done, like in my hardest moment. So like, that's the parallel. Now, when it comes to like the actual accounting stuff, like it really just gave me more of a, like really kind of a thought process of how things work. Because like, you got to look at things from both directions in accounting. Like you got to be able to look at them from a linear standpoint, but you got to get them from forward and backward. So it just taught me really how to dissect problems. Like it taught me how to problem solve. So like, okay, what is this? How do I get to this point? This is where we need to be. So this is where I got to go. So like from a statistics standpoint, I took a statistics class and like I failed it and then I had to take it over. So like it just, to me, just created way more of an armor for like how I went about my life more than I was using the actual information every single day in accounting. Like accounting was like, a guy told me this because I worked at the duty free in Newark Airport. So I worked for the duty free. I was in there, so I had a guy, he was the manager, young, and he told me, he's like, man, as a young man, like young black man specifically, he said that you have to specialize in something. You can't go do business management, like you got to do something specific. So I chose accounting, which at that point, like there was all the different things that were kind of coming, like auditing was a big thing that started to happen with the SEC. So like now these jobs started to go from like 80, like you can make 80K going out. So I'm like, oh man, yes, I want to do that. So like the money from that standpoint, my mind was driven that way. But when it turned down to, like accounting really was, it didn't fit my personality. Like at the end, like accounting was very like introverted to me when I was working in that, like you were in your cubicle, you worked with your numbers, and that was how you kind of operated, where I was like way more of an extrovert. So that's why like I wanted to get into, I probably should have did finance, but like I went back to coach, I started coaching. But to my standpoint now, I was like, coaching took over, and like the accounting degree just shows people that I can work on something that's just a little bit different. It's very specific, and it's a harder deal. That's what it showed. And like, because like obviously you say, like, you got an accounting degree, people are like, oh, okay, like that's what it was. Like I just worked really hard to get to where I had to go. Yeah, so like really for me, the pressure, like the pressure of everything mounts is like as much as you allow it to, right? But we're in a deal because you care about and you want to do really good. So like really for you, like as a coach, I realize in the NFL or any coach at a high level, like you got to have some process that regulates you, just like a player. Like you got to be able to get into things where it's like, is it sleep? Is it working out? Like for me now, it's working out. Like last year, I didn't do a great job of taking care of myself. So like I ran out of energy towards the end of the year, and then you don't perform at the optimal level. But like, man, I credit like our DC, our head coach, like really like our Les Frazier, who's, you know, he's a long-time coach in the NFL, to really like challenging me to get into like a routine of getting up. Like, so we have the breakfast club, we go out there, we working out, there's 8 to 10 coaches in there, and we're getting after it in the morning. But like that created great energy, created more confidence, created clarity in my thought. So like I created a process now that, because if you're just going and showing up every single day, like it just becomes too hard. You get engulfed by everything around you because you want to do a good job. I'm 36 years old. I'm coaching all these vets. I'm trying to figure out how to do it in real time, and you're learning a new system. So like you mount the pressure on yourself. But at the end of the day, when I really took a step back and realized like, what do these guys want? They want a coach that's going to be detailed, going to give them something to hold on to, but confident. Like speak to them from a standpoint where I can see them making plays, but deliver. They want a guy that has swag and want to be able to push them, because like at times for them, it can break them down all the stuff. So they want to have something to lean on to that they can say, hey, this person believes in me, or the vision of this group is going to carry me to where we go. So like, that's my job and responsibility, that when they're at their weakest moment, I can pick them up, and then vice versa. So like, I just created my process really going into this year as to how it works best for me and really my well-being, and like just the sleep, meditation, and then like being able to stay active and like my Bible studies at the school. Like, so those are all the things that help regulate me, and that's what works like for my well-being. I thought that in the probably previous like 6-7 years, I didn't do that well. Like I was living wrong. You ain't going to the doctor, you're not doing all the things you need to do. But like coming into the NFL just showed me a different way of like how you got to really take care of yourself, because man, the season is long, and it will really take the most out of you because you're trying to give your energy every Sunday. Like, and I don't really take too much into being on the TV and stuff like that, but like I just want to perform well for the guys that I'm in there, because I know I have a great opportunity. You're one of 32 coaches. So like in that message alone, you're like, man, how do I perform to stay where I am? But like, it's not about trying to stay there. It's about trying to invest in your players. Everything else will take care of itself. So that's the perspective lens that I've kind of changed this year versus last year. So my advice looking for anyone who wants to become a coach is really this. One, you gotta be willing to go where other people aren't willing to go. So like wherever the opportunity goes, you gotta chase it, right? And you gotta have the right support system. So for me, like before I met my wife, it was my mom. She was like my one to push me. She's like, listen, go chase your dreams. I know you have an accounting degree, but go, go, go. I met my wife and then she became my support system on like, go chase it. I'm here with you. I'm here to support you. And like, that just motivates you to kind of be able to do what you want to do. But then also it's like having a vision of yourself. Like, okay, this is where I want to go, and then trying to reach there, but understanding that it may not always work out that way. So like, I always say, be where your feet are. So whatever job you in, be the very best that you can do. So be where your feet are. If you can do that, then it's gonna take care. Cause like, I've never like tried to say, okay, like I'm trying to like just push my way in without working hard or finesse anybody for a job. Like my hard work and like my networking and how I carried myself every single day is what's gonna help propel you to that next level. And then a network, introduce yourself. Never be afraid to step into a space and speak. I think that's the hardest thing for people nowadays, like, well, really kids, cause like everything is social media. No one wants to talk face to face anymore. So like, how do I push through that? You gotta have the confidence to step in, shake hands, be in a room and conduct yourself. So you gotta be a chameleon. It's all different diversities. You gotta really understand like, what do people want? What do you want? And then how do we meet in the middle? And then if you really wanna do like coaching and get to the highest level, the work has to be put. It's a very old school hierarchy position. It's not gonna be a quick fix way to just jump to the top. Now, some people have that way and you can't, but like the majority, like there's dudes in JUCO, there's guys at NAIA, there's guys at D2, there's guys coaching in high school. Like take any opportunity you can and then you coach the guys and you always have the best group on the field. If you do that, you're gonna have success. And you may not reach the NFL, but at some point, you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna be, this game will give back to you in such a way that you just feel even more empowered to give back to it. And you just keep pouring into it and it pours into you. And it's just this beautiful relationship and synergy that's created for the rest of your life. And then you leave a legacy, which to me is the ultimate thing that you can leave behind, right? You wanna be able to coach, develop men. I want guys to come back and be like, man, coach, I'm a better man because I've been in your room, I've coached you, I've stepped into this light. That's what you wanna create. So don't worry about necessarily the dollar signs. It's about what environment I'm creating for these players that they can go be their very best and have impact.
Feel like I'm at a pet rally. Another first down, another play, another season. Live with Tony G, this that football fever. Yeah, this that football fever. Live with Tony G, this that football fever. Another first down, another play, another season. Live with Tony G, this that football fever. Yeah, this that football fever. Live with Tony G, this that football. Second half, still here, I need a trophy. Headshots like buzzer beaters, we took it OT. Same number, same jersey.